invited guests, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as the presidential candidate of my party, I took part in presidential dialogue with captains of industry at the Economic Summit House. That day, I made a promise to the Nigerian Economic Summit Group that I would be here today. I'm grateful to God Almighty that I'm able to keep that promise. I'm here to join you. This is 29th Nigeria Economic Summit theme. Summit, the theme, Pathway to Sustainable Economic Growth, Economic Transformation and Inclusion. This is taking place at an auspicious moment in our nation's history, on which demand affords a great quantum of urgency and courage to implement much needed reforms. I agree. The 5 sub-themes: stimulating economic growth, mobilizing finance for sustainable economic development, harnessing human capital, reforming public institutions, and promoting national cohesion and inclusion are consistent with my administration's Renew Hope agenda. And we are confident that this summit will serve as a platform for translating our strategic vision into action and result with collaboration with you. After a decade dominated by 2 economic recessions and a global pandemic, we find ourselves coming into a federal administration at a time that is laden with even more challenging socio-economic conditions than was the case in 1993, the year of the very first Nigerian Economic Summit. Combined global economic growth is projected not only to stagnate but slide into a reverse trajectory over the next fiscal year from 3.5 million percent growth recorded in 2022 down to 3.0 in 2023 and 2024. Yet, I contested for the office of president because I believe in the future of this great nation. I believe that economic stabilization and growth are possible in the short to medium term, and that sustainable growth and inclusive economy transformation is possible in the medium to long term. To this end, 1 week ago, the Federal Executive Council, under my chairmanship, approved the 2024 to 2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. At that presidential dialogue, I committed to hitting the ground running, another promise I am happy to have kept. I hit the ground running, anchored on my firm belief that the fate and destiny have a place in the touch of human progress in our hands. We have set about establishing a government underpinned by our enshrined administrative principles of impartiality and government according to Constitution and the rule of law. Defending the nation from terror and all form of criminality that threaten peace and stability of our country and sub-region. Remodeling our economy for growth and development through job creation, food security, and ending extreme poverty. Prominence of women and youth in our government was a promise. Championing a credit culture to create an inclusive economy for all of us to discourage corruption, in addition to strengthening the effectiveness and efficiency of our anti-corruption agencies. Our government is committed to delivering improved livelihood and positive economic outcomes which Nigeria can tangibly feel and experience. Our only objective is to create a fairer and safer playing field for all. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my administration has set 8-point priority areas in our agenda: ending poverty, achieving food security, economic growth and job creation, access to capital across all segments of our society and the economy, inclusivity, security, fairness and rule of law, and anti-corruption crusade to make these priorities possible. We are strengthening the machinery and structure of governance by establishing a public and civil service culture and structure that is performance-driven and result-oriented. We shall govern ethically with accountability and transparency, implementing sound and effective policies to accomplish our 8 priorities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me briefly to talk about some of the policies and programs of our renewed hope agenda and how they fit so well with the theme of this year's summit. We are celebrating 29th, and I pray we'll all be happier when you celebrate 30th. To stimulate economic growth, we announced the end of a crippling fuel subsidy regime and the unification of foreign exchange rates. Combined with the effect of subsidies, these factors distorted the money supply and created an unfair playing field for an elite crop of unpatriotic forces. But that is no more. It's gone. We have tackled these changes head-on. That is the hallmark of the leadership that I believe in and that you believe in. The question you asked me that day, will you have the courage to do the following? I answer all of you, yes. Now, my government has introduced ZEFRA, measures to resuscitate the economy, including 500 billion naira intervention to support small-scale businesses and the agricultural sector. By January 2024, the new student loan program must commence. To the future of our children and students, we are saying no more strikes. there must be consumer credit. The scheme will have to come to effect as soon as possible. I thank my team and my colleagues to build this program. Develop it now. We cannot talk about anti-corruption when you have to look for cash to buy a car, when there's no mortgages for home ownership. Where do you expect a civil servant to have 3 billion, 3 million, 5 million for houses without corruption? If you don't change and plan the welfare of your judiciary, and you ask them to be fair, render justice with mercy, with an hungry stomach, new and affordable home will also be built at a record space, I assure you. We have all felt the pain of these reforms. Soon, we shall begin to reap the rewards. It is my hope that this summit will deliberate and provide yet more solutions to complement the programs mentioned above, to mobilize finance for sustainable development. We have simultaneously commenced an aggressive domestic and external mobilization of financial resources and capital from a wide range of partners among several initiatives. We are progressing forward with the development of wide-range reforms to our fiscal and tax policies to ensure an efficient and fair growth-friendly fiscal environment. You've heard this Central Bank of Nigeria about 43 items. I've read all the comments, nearly. But there must be a clear line between monetary policy and fiscal policy. Are these items on trade embargo? No. So you only push them to the parallel market. Yeah, let's compete for whatever is available, where the government will struggle and work hard to bring more investment into the economy in order to manage the exchange rate. That is my resolve. To harness our human capital, we must protect the socio-economically vulnerable and vanquish forever the crippling multidimensional poverty affecting our land, as we move aggressively to end hunger and protect all Nigerian children. Consistent with our commitment to enshrine fairness and the rule of law in our country, this government will uphold the sanctity of every legitimate contract. Specifically as it relates to foreign exchange obligations of the government, all the forward contracts that the government has entered into will be honored. I believe in the definition of our profession that I inherit the asset and liability of my predecessor. The framework has been put in place to ensure that these obligations are met in due course. My government is not blind to the challenges several of you are facing in the financial markets. I can only allay these concerns by revealing that we have a good line of sight for the additional foreign exchange liquidity that is required to restore market confidence. And we are going to do that. Further details elaborating on the specific of this far-ranging initiative to deepen foreign exchange liquidity and improve confidence across all stakeholders will be shared by the coordinating Minister of Economy and the Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a $1 trillion economy is possible. By year 2026. And a $3 trillion economy is also possible within this decade. We can do it with double-digit, inclusive, and sustainable competitive growth. This is our agenda. I would like to charge you, the captains of industry here present, to commit yourself and redouble your effort to our vision of a renewed hope, more prosperous Nigeria, a better Nigeria for all. For us to successfully deliver our promise to Nigerians, we recognize that it is imperative that we foster a high collaborative relationship with private sector. We must work together. We have the proven capacity in this regard. As we remember the role of public-private partnership and the transformation of Lagos State under my leadership, we will replicate that across Nigeria with our unwavering support. Today, I urge you, as Nigeria's foremost private sector think tank and policy advocacy group, to go much further than you have done before. Bring your ideas. Bring your leadership. Be highly inquisitive. And bring your capital. Bring the collective will of your large conglomerates and business networks. Let's build a future of renewed hope. My government is prepared. I hope you are. I hope that is why you are here. I'm confident that by working closely with all of you in the private sector, financing our $3 trillion national infrastructure stock can be achieved in 10 years and not in 300 years. Building megacities in every geopolitical zone of the size and scale of Lagos must not take us another 6 decades. We can do it in 1 decade. A fully networked and connected Nigeria by rail, gas, fiber, digital optics, and road network can be constructed in less than 20 years. Establishing thriving industrial zones in every Nigeria zone is possible before 2030. Let's use the next 2 decades to craft strategies that have relentless backing of our collective will. You have my commitment that my government will act on all the promises and the summit report when it is received from you. Be ready to challenge me after you've crafted those recommendations based upon high intellectual inclusiveness and workable plans. I'm not standing here to say I'm perfect, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I will make mistakes as a human being. I'm ready to listen to you, correct the mistakes, and move on. And before looking president, backward is a shadow. The future is calling, and this administration will not hesitate to seize the opportunity of this moment. Our finest destiny is awaiting us all. Let Nigerians breathe a sigh of renewed hope and confidence. It is within your reach. I've heard it on a number of occasions, and I've read it in several journals, that no one succeeds alone. That is why I'm here, to think with you. That is why the administration is ready to work with you, to chart the path for a greater, promising, and prosperity rewarding Nigeria. There's various conflicts and contradictions around the world. But we are struggling and working hard to manage the business environment in this country. It is only with you, the collaboration, the effectiveness, the genuineness of your commitment to national growth that can bail us out of depressions. I'm therefore pleased to declare this 29th Economic Summit open.
Yes, thank you. Sorry.
How are you?
Thank you.
Commodities markets, agriculture, FX, African exchange.
Daddy.
Yeah.